Can you just move away, please?
Don't mind about the cars moving.
Just keep walking away. Keep walking.
Back. Back.
محمد كلهم معك. أي قليل يبكي يسبني.
Yeah, I know, I can't find it. Just keep walking away, yeah. Okay. Just hold it.
Their life has been passed away. They're calling you, so they want to know that this are they here or they've been taken? The ambulance came. We always come and pray here. So far what we heard is most of the 10 people have passed away or died or been get killed. But we're not sure. We're waiting investigation from the police. We don't want to go and jump into the conclusion. Two of my cousins were get injured. I come here to find out this situation because members of the family are asking about this situation, which hospital is being taken. So far we have no any news and we hope that they're doing well. And what really has happened, inshallah, what really has happened was sort of a terrorist act, but the media are not still indicating that. They're saying it's sort of an act, which we are not accepting that. Because if the person would have been just a Muslim, imagine, they would have been shot that person, or that person would have been, named as a terrorist have done A or B or C. So far, no media is condemning so, and we know this is a terrorist act. We are condemning any terrorist act, whatever that action could be. We as a Muslim, we as a British person, Muslim living in the United Kingdom, we are against the terrorists and we don't support any such action. And this is an evil act that any human being could do. So we are just asking the authority now if they can just release the information, the people who are injured, and which hospital have been taken, and those who have been passed away. A lot of people, members of the family are here, and we don't know their situation. Thank you.
I actually missed something. I arrested somebody or whatever. So I'm going to somebody will take the BBC.
Good morning, everyone. I've come down here this morning as soon as I could to first of all to express my sympathies for the victims of this terrible attack that took place last night, for their families and their friends, but also to utterly condemn what has happened, this attack on innocent people. The perpetrator of this attack and those terrible attacks that we saw recently, sadly, in Manchester and London, their intention is to try to seek to divide our society. And my message to them is that they will always, always fail. I'm also here to meet local members of the community leaders and others. First of all, to tell them that this government will always take a zero-tolerance approach to hate crime, including anti-Muslim hate crime, wherever we find it. But also, I want to reassure both the local Muslim community, but also Muslims across the United Kingdom, that they will always have the full support of this government in fighting anti-Muslim hate crime. But I also want to learn today what further measures there are that can be taken by either the government, by police, by others to give them maximum reassurance. Thank you.
Is it a terrorist attack?
The Metropolitan Police have confirmed that their counter-terrorism unit are looking at this and they are treating it as a potential terrorist attack.
Mr. Chairman, Richard Suchet from LBC. Are you concerned that this is a revenge attack and that we may be ending up in some kind of circle of violence?
This is certainly an attack, a hate crime attack. I think that much we now know. I don't want to give it any other kind of label at this point. We want to be led by what the police tell us. But of course I am concerned with any hate crime attack, and particularly one of this nature that is attacked, and sadly there's been one fatality. There are at least 10 people that are injured in hospital. This kind of attack is absolutely unacceptable. There can never be anything justified.
What can you actually do about it?
I think, first of all, right here and now, we can listen to local people to see what more measures can be taken to give them reassurance. So, for example, some of the local leaders have already asked the local police for some more visible policing, especially at this time of year with Ramadan and people late into the night opening their fast and therefore gathering together as they were last night, and that is something the police have already responded to. But secondly, I think we can work with community leaders, not just here in Finsbury Park, but across the UK, and listen to them about what more we can do. We already have a dialogue with them, very, very frequent. We have an anti-Muslim hate crime working group that is chaired both by me and the Home Secretary. There are a number of things that we've done both with the community and across communities, but I think this is a reminder to us that you can always look at what more you can do and listen to the community.
But what's the cause of it? Why is it happening? Where does it come from?
This is, I think that certainly one thing that has happened is that the perpetrator of this crime is seeking to divide communities. There's no question about that, and that is one of the best responses that can happen now from the local community. As we are seeing, I understand, for example, later today there will be an interfaith meeting, there will be a vigil later tonight, and that is the best response the local community can have at this time.
Mr. Javid, I have Post UK here. I spoke to a 15-year-old earlier who didn't go to her GCSE exams because she was quite scared and her mother felt that it wasn't safe. What can you say to the young people and those who are feeling most vulnerable to make them feel safe again?
I'd say, first of all, to that young lady, that I understand her concerns, and for her not to want to go to exams, I think everyone would understand that. And to her, and particularly young people, is we must never let these people that perpetrate these attacks seek to divide us. Also, both whether it's the government, it's the police and others, we want to give all people, particularly those young people growing up, seeing these either in their community, seeing what the terrible events they've seen on their TV screens in recent months, we must reassure them that this doesn't reflect British society. Britain is one of the most united, cohesive societies on earth, and we should always remember that and celebrate that.
Mr. Chairman, how is the government going to ensure that places of worship for all faiths are secure from this kind of thing?
Well, I think first of all, it's important to stress what you've just said, that this is an attack on worshippers, and this would be an unacceptable attack, whether it's on Muslims, on Christians, on Jews, absolutely unacceptable. And I think one of the immediate ways there can be more reassurance, particularly for the Muslim community, is to have more visible policing, especially at this time of year during Ramadan.
Is that going to happen?
That's going to happen wherever it's requested.
Mr. Javid, you say the Muslim community would like to see more police on the streets. Is that going to be possible when the government have cut police numbers back so drastically?
Well, what we've heard already today from the police from the Metropolitan Police is that they have the resources necessary to respond. Of course, they are stretched already with the terrible tragedy at Grenfell Tower and the recent terrorist attacks that we've seen as well. But one thing that government has always made absolutely clear was the police and the wider emergency services who have done a very admirable job especially with the recent attacks and what we've seen here as well, is that they will always have the resources that they deem necessary, the resources that they need to do their job.
Mr. Javid,
I have to make this the final question.
as a Muslim, how do I keep my son and I safe? Because we don't feel safe at the moment. I don't even want to send him to school.
Well, first of all, I'm a Muslim, I have children, And I know many members of the community across Britain that will express a very similar feeling to what you've just said. And I think that I think what we have to do together, it's a job that we have to do together. It involves everyone working together. And I know so many people that feel as you do. And we've got to, as a government, do what we can to support the community, working with the police, working with community leaders, but especially those people that feed hate crime, whether it's what they call the non-violent hate crime through social media and other forms. We've got to crack down on that. And wherever we see violent extremism, whatever form it takes against whoever it is, we've got to act against that as well. Okay, so that's it. That's it.
Down.
Guys, we will do this. I will do it.
Mike, down a bit.
Just see me too right now. What's your name? You get it. That's okay. You get it. You get it.
Porto. Can you?
Okay, thank you.
Judicial system this possible. Please. Work hard isolating hate crime on the internet. Work harder to stop legitimize Islamophobia. Islamophobia should be as crime as anti-Semitism is. And I think that the sooner we do this, the quicker we can carry the rest of our community with us. And together we fight this evil.
Thank you for what you've said. Thank you for the support you and others that have met today just providing to people from across the country. We can see here right now. I think that message is very important. This was a despicable crime. It was already one person sadly lost his life. 10 people that are injured. Unfortunately, with their family and friends right now, what they must be going through. But for the wider country, not just Muslims here, but across the country, they will have more of a sense of I'm here in vulnerability. That cannot be allowed to happen. That sense cannot be allowed to grow. And that is why we've got to continue to work together. The work that we've already done through the Muslim hate crime group, but now learn from this and see what more it is, what can be done. But you know, this I just heard earlier, this the welfare centre where the attack took place. But yesterday during the day, they were having a great get-together event. Members of all communities. Yeah, exactly. They had Jewish leaders, Christian people, Christian, all faiths and no faiths coming together to celebrate what is wonderful about our country. And 24 hours later, we hear this despicable
As a matter of fact, we were at Iftar, not miles away from it, at Chief Rabbi's home last night, a group of Muslims. And I have to say, the response from our Christian brothers, our Jewish brothers, has been quite touching. They are supporting us. They are not allowing the hate which is in society.
There's a real determination on the ground for us to stand together in solidarity with this and hoping for a good relationship with the government.
I think there's also already an interfaith gathering that's planned for later today. I think these kinds of showing people across the country, not just here locally, that we will always stand united in the face of these kinds of despicable crimes. I think it's very, very important. In itself, it provides huge reassurance to people, and it's really important the work that you're doing. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Could you introduce your name?
My name is Zoher.
I heard you was in the community center last time when incident happened.
Yeah, basically, I think when the incident happened, when the person attacked people who drive on them on the pavement and the side road, people were still praying because I think we were nearly finished. It was about 3 to 4 minutes to finish the prayer. That's what exactly happened. When we went out, we went there, the police was just arrived and they took the person, whatever. So we can see from 20 meters away from the place where it happened. But now, after that, less than half an hour, they close everything. You cannot go that far. What I learned yesterday, basically, the guy was coming from Seven Sisters side, from Holloway side. When he was nearly close to Waitman Road, to Fontier Road, there is a side there, I can't remember the name. He sharply turned left and drove on those people. And basically, we'd been told that there was someone passed away on the spot. And there is other injuries, 7, 8 people or 6.
It was on the pavement, is it? He was driving the pavement?
No, there is a side road you can turn.
Driving to the cul-de-sac road.
There is a side road, it's a dead end.
Yeah,
you
dead
drive
end,
to it, yeah. So there is like, it's not really pavement, yes. Between two, there's but he drive toward the road and hit people.
Did you see the people on the floor when lying down?
No, I told you I was 20 meters away. You can't, because the police are very scared. They have closed the place. We've seen through videos. We have seen videos, basically. Right. People who were there closer than us, they send us those videos.
And can you mention about the imam? He's just trying to protect the attacker.
No, but what happened exactly? When in the mosque they heard that something happened, the imam, basically the young imam, he was one of the people who went out to help and whatever, and he went there, and there is another person as well who will help in the mosque. They were one of the people who has, because they find the person was captured on the floor. Basically, they helped and they asked people to be kind with him and deliver it to the police so they can do their job. At the same time, when they were looking after people on the floor, basically helping the brothers and the ambulance when they come to take over.
Do you come often this community center?
No, I'm regularly here because I live 7 minutes from here, so that's the two mosques where I usually pray.
So after a few incidents happened in London, did you see any extra police protecting this Muslim community?
No, what happened in London, in Manchester and London Village, we have noticed that even the government has declared that they have put more police in the street, because what they did the last few years, they cut 20,000 police. So now they realize they did a silly mistakes. They are promising to people to. You can notice, I don't know where they got them from, maybe outside London or whatever, but you can see when you walk on the street daytime or nighttime, there is more police. But I mean, you can say maybe 6 months ago, it's rarely that you can see police in London. They don't exist. Even the police station was closed. I had a car accident and it took me to go travel a bit far to take an application for post police because all the police stations around me were closed. Or some of them become part-time, they open a few hours a day.
Did you have any extra private security guard in your mosque, anything like that?
No, we do have like security like in other buildings. Yeah. And in Ramadan you will have more volunteers, right. Basically help people if someone need water or at the entrance, at the exit. It's like a daily routine security things, not like proper for this kind of things, So at the same time, the police, when they are on the street, for example, they just come close to the mosque, see if everything is okay, and they go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how to explain. They stay when they wake up last night. When I woke them up, when I heard that noise, I don't know. I was thinking it might be the fire, or might be the gang, or might be someone. I don't know what's going on. So I woke them, all my kids, 4 kids, and they say, "It started. Wake up. There's something going on." They say no, and they say, "Don't worry." And then one of my friends, she said, "When I open the news, can use this. This is what's happening." When I open the TV, I seen the accidents, the van, I see the people, and then I say, "Okay, please go back." And the oldest one, he is very curious, asking mommy, "What's going on?" And then you watch with me the TV and everything is shown. He knows everything.
Sorry, can I just have your full name as well?
It's Muna.
M-O-N-A.
M-U-N-A.
M-U-N-A. And then Mohammed? M-O-H.
Yeah, it's Mohammed. Yeah, it's 1 M. Yeah.
Okay. And your age as well, sir?
It's 32. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
This Due to an incident outside Finsbury Park Station, there will be no entry or exit via Seven Sisters Road until further notice. If you are on the platforms, please exit.
That's where all the police.
Okay, tamam. Hadi görüşürüz.
He's only allowed here for that's why that's the only reason why we're there. He will know.
Officer about something that could be sensitive.
I can let you know. Oh yeah, where are you?
Communities I'm very proud to represent, and that's why I'm here today.
It is your constituency. Has the Prime Minister been in touch with you this morning to talk to you about it?
Yes, Dan has been in touch with us, and I was speaking to the mayor of the city of London, a long conversation about this so we're making sure the response will be also to give reassurance the community of their safety and reassurance that they are free to practice their faith, they are free to walk around the streets, and people must be able to do that. To say the stress levels of the people last night to this morning, which is fine, something like this. Obviously, an attitude in our society this kind of issue is coming together, and this is a very multi-faceted Christians, Jewish, Muslim, this is a microcosm of community working together.
Just doing coordinates. Have you seen that video? Right at the scene of the cordon, at the edge of the cordon, says 7 sisters around the broke
Listening very close to